You reach for a box of AGS, you've done it 1,000 times. Free range, finest, farm fresh, and you think eggs are simple. What's there to worry about? Everything. Because right now, millions of people across the UK are eating eggs every single day without knowing what's actually inside them. 7. Brands to avoid. 3 that actually tell the truth. Let's get into it. Number 7. Iceland. 6 mixed weight, free-range eggs. They say free-range right there on the box. Sounds reassuring, doesn't it? Here is what free-range actually means under UK law. Hens must have daytime access to outdoor runs. That is it. There is no requirement for the quality of that space. There are no rules about what they are fed. There is no minimum on how much time they actually spend outside. And Iceland, a retailer built almost entirely around keeping prices low, has very little reason to go beyond that minimum. There is no organic certification, which means the grain feeding these hens can legally contain residues from pesticides and herbicides, including glyphosate, classified by the World Health Organization Cancer Research Agency as a probable human carcinogen. You won't taste it, you won't see it, but it goes into the hen and it goes into the egg. And that is before we mention PFAS, perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substances. These are called forever chemicals because they are so persistent. They accumulate in soil, in water, in feed, and when a hen eats that feed, they pass directly into the egg. You won't taste them, you won't see them, but they build up in human tissue over years, and no amount of cooking removes them. Studies now link chronic PFAS exposure to disrupted thyroid function and a weakened immune system, not in theory, but in people, eating eggs like these every single day. There is also the feed itself. Cheap commercial grain is frequently contaminated with mycotoxins, naturally occurring fungal toxins that form in stored grain. They don't disappear during processing, and long-term exposure to even low levels has been linked to liver damage in ways that build silently over years. There is no requirement on non-organic producers to test for or disclose them. The label says, free range. The reality is often a massive shed, a small door, and a hen that never actually uses it. That image on the box, the open field, the blue sky, someone designed that specifically so you won't ask questions. And millions of people never do. They trust the label, take it home, and crack it into the pan without ever knowing what came before it. You deserve better than that. And the next brand proves just how far that gap between image and reality really goes. Number 6. Lidl free-range eggs, same free-range label. But here is what is different and worse. Lidl sources its eggs from large commercial suppliers to hit its price point. That pressure does not just affect animal welfare, it shapes every single decision about what goes into the feed. And here is the health argument that almost never gets made. Hens fed conventional grain eat a diet dominated by corn and soy. That creates an egg with a severely imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Omega-6 fatty acids in excess drive inflammation in the human body. Chronic inflammation is linked to heart disease, metabolic disorders, and a long list of conditions that most people spend years trying to manage. You are not just buying an egg, you are buying the nutritional consequences of what that hen was fed. And depending on where that farm sits and what went into the grain, you may also be buying trace amounts of PFAS, compounds that studies consistently show accumulate in the body over time. The dose sounds small, the accumulation is the problem. Your thyroid does not forget. There is no organic certification, no independent welfare audit, no one checking that supply chain on your behalf. Think about that for a second. You are standing in that aisle trying to make a sensible choice for your family, and the label is designed to make you feel like you already have. That is not an oversight, that is the strategy. Now, same story, different supermarket, but this next one has a twist that almost nobody talks about. Number 5. Aldi free-range eggs, fastest growing supermarket in the UK. Built on one idea, cut every unnecessary cost. That works brilliantly for toilet paper. It works less well for living creatures. Here is the part that rarely gets talked about. In high-density free-range systems, a significant proportion of hens never venture outside at all. They are prey animals. Crowded sheds create a social hierarchy, and lower-ranked birds simply do not make it to the door. Stress in hens is not just a welfare concern, it is a biological one. Chronic stress triggers elevated cortisol, the body's fear hormone. That cortisol does not vanish, it gets concentrated into the yolk, into the egg you crack open every morning. You are not eating stress, you are eating the chemical signature of it. And combined with PFAS residues and mycotoxin-contaminated feed, you are looking at a cocktail of low-level stressors hitting your body simultaneously, each one individually below the alarm threshold. Together, year after year, a different story. Most people crack that egg into the pan and feel good about their morning. They chose free range after all. That feeling of doing the right thing is real. It is just not backed up by what is actually in the box. Aldi does offer organic eggs separately. That distinction genuinely matters. But their standard free-range line, it is doing the legal minimum. Nothing more. Number 4. Sainsbury's free-range eggs. This one matters because Sainsbury's spends a significant amount of money telling you they care. The Taste the Difference range, the By Sainsbury's branding, the warm photography all signal a more considered choice. Then they put this on the shelf. Their standard free-range line carries no organic certification. There is no commitment beyond what the law requires. It is a product designed to give you the feeling of making a responsible choice without the cost of actually doing so. Here is the number that matters. UK law allows up to 9 hens per square metre in a free-range shed. 9. In a flock of tens of thousands, that is not a farm, that is a production line. At that density, outdoor access is largely theoretical. The door exists, but most birds never reach it. The label says one thing, the certification or lack of it tells the truth. Sainsbury's has built a reputation on being the more thoughtful choice, but when it comes to these eggs, the gap between that image and the reality on the farm is exactly as wide as it is everywhere else on this list. You are paying for the brand's self-image, not for what is in the egg. If you are still watching, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We cover what the food industry would rather you ignored. And brand number 2, they did not just cut corners. They manufactured the illusion of quality. We will get there. Number 3, Tesco Finest. Free-range chestnut marran eggs. Chestnut marran. Finest. RSPCA assured, deeply coloured yolks, a premium price tag, and still not organic. RSPCA assured is a real welfare scheme, but it says nothing about what the hen eats. It does not restrict pesticide use in the grain. It does not require feed to be non-genetically modified. It says nothing about glyphosate, nothing about PFAS, nothing about the mycotoxin load in cheaply stored bulk grain. Nothing about what that hen consumed every single day of her laying life. Here is what organic certification requires that RSPCA assured does not. No synthetic pesticides on feed crops, no genetically modified grain, no mycotoxin-laden bulk grain without testing requirements, stricter stocking densities, mandatory independent farm inspections. Audited and enforced every year. And here is the part that really stings. The yolk colour. Marran hens do produce richly coloured eggs, but yolk colour is driven by diet. In a non-organic system, that diet is chosen for cost and consistency, not for your health. A deep yolk from a marran hen fed conventional grain is not the same as one from a hen on organic pasture. The colour looks the same. The contents are not. People buy Finest because they are trying to do right by themselves and their families. That instinct is good, but the label is exploiting it. You are paying a premium to feel informed while being kept deliberately in the dark. The brand that comes next doesn't just exploit that instinct, it engineers it from the ground up. Number 2, Aldi specially selected British free-range golden yolk eggs. And the name alone should stop you in your tracks. Golden yolk, specially selected, British. Every single word on that box is doing a job. And the job is to make you believe this egg is genuinely different. Here's the truth. The golden yolk isn't the result of a hen living freely on varied pasture. It's the result of feed engineering, marigold extract, specific carotenoid additives, added to the grain to produce a darker, richer-looking yolk regardless of how the hen actually lives. The industry knows that darker yolks signal better nutrition, so rather than change the conditions, they change the color. Still conventional grain, still potentially carrying pesticide residues and PFAS, still the same imbalanced fatty acid profile, still the same mycotoxin risk. The egg looks premium. The contents tell a completely different story. You're not buying a better egg, you're buying a better looking one. And the worst part? It works. Millions of people pick up this box every week because it looks more natural, more wholesome, more honest. That golden yolk isn't a sign of a better life for the hen. It's a sign of how well this industry understands your instincts and how willingly it exploits them. That's not a shortcut. That's a deliberate decision to manufacture the appearance of quality instead of producing it. And number one doesn't even bother pretending. Number 1. Big and fresh 10 large barn eggs sold at Tesco, the brand that represents the absolute floor of UK egg production. Barn, not free range, not organic. In the UK labelling system, barn sits one step above caged. That is the entire extent of the improvement. These hens never go outside. No natural light, no grass, no soil, no foraging, nothing. 9 hens per square metre in a flock of tens of thousands. The ammonia from that volume of waste builds to levels that permanently damage the respiratory systems of the birds. Chronically sick hens on higher levels of veterinary medication, producing eggs under conditions of constant physiological strain. That biological cost does not stay in the shed. It transfers into the egg, into you. In barn systems, the cortisol issue is not elevated, it is constant. These birds live in a permanent state of physiological stress from the moment they hatch to the moment they stop laying. That shows up in the egg, in the hormone profile, in the fatty acid balance, in the chemical residues that no label is required to declare, no welfare certification, no independent audits, no one checking anything beyond the bare legal minimum. And it is sold under that brand. Someone sat in a meeting room and chose those words deliberately. Big, fresh, wholesome, neutral, safe. It is none of those things. If there is one box to put back on the shelf, it is this one. You've just seen what the industry is built on. The false images, the engineered yolks, the hens that never see daylight, the chemicals building silently in your body year after year. Now here is what makes it worse. The alternative has been sitting right next to those boxes the entire time. Most people just did not know what to look for. One word separates an honest egg from everything we've just been through. Let's get into it. Number 3 on the good side. Tesco Organic Free-Range Eggs. One word. Organic. Not a marketing choice, a legal standard. Independently audited, enforceable. In the UK, organic certification through bodies like the Soil Association, or OF&G, means no synthetic pesticides on feed crops, no genetically modified grain, no mycotoxin-laden cheap bulk grain with no testing requirements, stricter stocking densities, mandatory outdoor access that goes beyond the free-range minimum, regular farm inspections to verify it is actually happening, and crucially, organic certification requires that feed and pasture are monitored for chemical residues far more strictly than conventional standards, which meaningfully reduces the risk of PFAS, mycotoxins, and pesticide residues making it into the egg. Not zero risk, but a categorically lower one. That is a categorically different product to everything in the bottom 7. And Tesco, the UK's most accessible supermarket, stocks it. You do not need to go anywhere special. You do not need to change your shopping habits dramatically. Is it perfect? No, supermarket-scale organic will never match a small specialist farm. But for the first time on this list, someone is actually checking. An independent body. With standards, with teeth, certified, audited, accessible. It is the entry point to honest eggs. The next 2 brands show you what it looks like when that is not enough, when a producer demands more of themselves than any certification requires. Number 2, Daylesford Organic Eggs. This is where the difference between meeting a standard and genuinely believing in one becomes very clear. Daylesford is a Soil Association certified organic farm in the Cotswolds. They have been farming this way for decades, not because the market demanded it, because it is the founding principle of everything they do. The hens have genuine outdoor pasture access. Real access, not a pop hole in a crowded shed. The scale is deliberately kept small enough that it means something. The feed is fully organic. No pesticide residues, no genetically modified crops, no mycotoxins from poorly stored bulk grain. And because these hens forage on real pasture, eating grass, insects, and varied plant matter, the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in the egg is fundamentally different from anything produced in a conventional system. That ratio matters. It affects inflammation, it affects cardiovascular health, it affects how your body processes what you eat every single day. The yolk color, the shell quality, the nutritional density, these are natural outcomes. Not engineered, not manufactured, earned. In an industry that has perfected the art of faking it, Daylesford simply does the work. Daylesford is not widely available everywhere, but if you can find them, they are exactly what they say they are. And then there is number one, the brand that has been doing this longer and more consistently than almost anyone else in Britain. Number one, Waitrose Dutchie Organic Eggs. The story behind this brand is unlike anything else on this list. Dutchie Originals was founded in 1990 by King Charles III, then the Prince of Wales, with an explicit commitment to organic farming and environmental stewardship. Soil Association certified from day one, not added later to capitalize on a trend, built in from the very beginning. The hens are fed certified organic grain, no synthetic pesticides, no herbicides, no GM crops, no PFAS contaminated bulk feed, no compromise on what shapes everything about the egg you eat. Stocking densities go beyond the standard organic requirement. Outdoor access is genuine and verified. Independent farm inspections, not retailer promises. Actual third-party audits year after year for over 3 decades. That track record matters enormously in an industry where certifications get added and removed whenever the market shifts. Dutchie has never shifted. The standard has never dropped. After everything on this list, the engineered golden yolks, the ammonia-filled barns, the forever chemicals accumulating silently in human tissue, this is what it feels like to find something that actually means what it says. 35 years of the same standard. No shortcuts, no rebrand, no quiet drop in quality when nobody was looking. Widely available at Waitrose, not the budget option on the shelf. But everything the worst brands on this list are pretending to be. This is what an honest egg looks like. You've been cracking these eggs into the pan daily, trusting the label, not knowing about the forever chemicals, not knowing about the mycotoxins, not knowing about the engineered color. Now you know. One word, organic. That's all it takes.